Good morning. How are y'all? Did anybody lose their voice this weekend screaming at a TV screen or in a stadium? And congratulations to all the UT fans, and hope those Alabama fans are. There's always another year, okay? Just remember, there's always another year for sure. So, welcome. I'm Mindy Tate, CEO of Franklin Tomorrow, and we appreciate you being here this morning. Okay, I won't break it. But one of the things we love about Frank Talks is the ability to move around and see different places. How many of you have ever been in this building before? Yay, okay. But there are a few of you who've never been in this building before or the other buildings on this campus. And so we really wanted to focus on lifelong learning and leisure activities in Williamson County today. And this campus is a hidden gem for many of us. I love the library. Some of my earliest memories as a child are going to the library in my hometown of Jeffersonville, Indiana, and crying when my mother came to pick me up. I don't want to leave the library. No, I don't want to go home. But love the library and love this facility as well. I will begin and end my day here because tonight my Rotary Club, the Downtown Franklin Rotary Club, meets here at 5:30. And so if you want to join us, if you want to come back, they'll be chilly tonight, I think, is the game. So this is a great facility, a great community facility. It's available for your use, for your organization. They host events here, both private and public events. And so we're glad to be back here at the Williamson County Enrichment Center. So I'm going to advance this. Thank you. Obviously, we'll talk about our sponsors in a minute, but thank you very much to Renaissance Bank and Williamson Medical Center for their support of Franklin Tomorrow through the Frank Talks program. But I'm going to bring Nancy Conway up to do her Did You Know? Try to make this work for Nancy. Oh, and the gift today is a notebook and this handy dandy historic Franklin glass. Nothing to go in it, though.
Thank you, Mindy, and welcome everyone. It's a great Monday morning, especially for the UT supporters. Well, anyway, today we are in this great building, the Enrichment Center, next door to the Williamson County Library. And of course, the library has been in that building since 2003. Now, my quiz question today focuses on the library. So, where was the former location of the Williamson County Library before it moved next door?
Carrie, you can't answer. Tina?
Correct.
Yeah.
It was at 611 West Main Street, down at 5 Points. And just for your information, at that location today, you will find the Williamson County Archives and Museum. Congratulations.
Great. All right. What was there? Who knows what was there before? At 611 West Main Street. What was at the grammar school, the elementary school? Franklin Elementary School. So it burned to the ground, but that's great to history there. And if you haven't been to the archives and looked at the museum, it's really worth your time to go and see what a great collection exists there. But also, I know at the library, they have a wonderful special collections room, and there's a little reading room off the back of that that's a pretty hidden gem. Oops, I just told them all about it. I'm sorry. I better be quiet. So we are excited but the county archives is just a great resource, and there are people there who will help you with your genealogy, who will at all these locations. So we appreciate that for sure. Thank you, Nancy, for always having something to keep us thinking. So again, we want to thank Williamson Medical Center and Renaissance Bank for their support of Franklin Tomorrow's Frank Talks program. This is usually held on the second Monday of the month, but there was that holiday and also fall break last week, so we delayed a week, but we'll be back on schedule when we start in November. But I'm going to bring up Greg, I think it's Greg from Williamson Medical Center. I know it's Greg. I just thought it was Williamson Medical Center or Renaissance first, but bring up Greg and have him introduce this video.
Good morning, everybody. Got two numbers for you today. First one, 287,850. Second number, 2,710. These are the numbers of American women and men, respectively, will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer in 2022. Here in Williamson County, we are fortunate to have high-quality breast health care at the Turner Dugas Breast Health Center, where we've got a team of breast health navigators who are here to help women and men when they hear those words. Let's take a look at this video and find out more.
When I had my routine mammogram, before I left the mammogram room, the radiologist came in and said, "We need another image taken." And right then I thought, oh my gosh. They had me come in immediately for a biopsy. Within 3 or 4 days, I got a call from Williamson Medical that I did have breast cancer. It doesn't run in my family. I just thought I wouldn't be touched by cancer. So I met with the breast health navigators at Williamson Medical. I can't say enough about what they did for me. Came alongside me and got my team together. They said, "Don't worry, we're gonna help you. That's what we're here for." They were always available to talk to. Dr. Baskin was pretty amazing. She was not only my surgeon, but she was also a breast cancer survivor herself. So I feel like I was blessed having her navigate with me what I was gonna do. Because it was so large of a mass, they had to do a double mastectomy. I'm doing well. I'm cancer-free. My message is obviously get your mammogram, but also advocate for yourself when that mammogram comes back and says you have dense breast tissue, to really get the extra imaging done, because sometimes it can be hidden.
And really, I think that new theme for Williamson Medical Center, more close to home, really hits home when you think about people who are going through treatments and the ability to stay and be in our neighborhood as part of that. So we've got some folks from Renaissance, Tina, Diane, wave, say hey. All right, so we'll appreciate their support, and maybe Tony will be back next month with a funny video, but that fall break, you can tell him that we all missed him, okay? Yeah, just let him know. Yeah. So thanks to the Good Food Group for our coffee this morning. We always appreciate their support, and they provide coffee. They did also provide coffee Saturday morning at Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, Unite Williamson Prayer Breakfast. This is the mayor's second time here this morning already. So, Mayor, come up and talk about your experience here at the Enrichment Center just for half a second. I'm putting you on the spot. Come on up.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Mindy. And yeah, this is my second time here today. Some people thought I'd come back because I left my phone, which I did, but this is where I exercise on a regular basis. It's a great spot. As a veteran, it's a free opportunity for me to exercise, so if you're a veteran, you're here. But they have all the equipment, and it's not a very busy place versus some of the other places where you go. So, and great staff. Thanks.
I'm sure I'll pay for putting him on the spot, but that's okay. It'll be fun, and it's all good. So we're going to talk about lifelong learning and leisure, and we're going to introduce our panel here today, and I'm going to do this and have them raise their hand so that you'll know who each person is, and then we'll introduce them as we start the program. But immediately to my right is Jessica Jeffers, the new Williamson County Public Library System Director, and we want to get to know Jessica a little bit this morning and then also hear about what's going on at the library. And we'd love for you to answer the question, why was this a good location for you to make this move from, I'll spoil it, from Tampa? So we'd love to know about that. Next to her is Jeffy Nicholson, who's the Adult Services Supervisor at the Williamson County Public Library System. And then, let's see, we've got Tracy Hamby, and we've got Crystal Turner, and we've got Jesse Eppelheimer. So Jesse is with the Williamson County Performing Arts Center, which is across the parking lot that way, behind the pickleball courts. And then Tracy is the Senior Therapeutic Supervisor, and Crystal is the Senior Sports Coordinator. And pickleball, you're just probably going to have to talk about pickleball, aren't you? Yeah, okay, we're going to have to talk about pickleball. But we're going to start by having Jessica talk a little bit about the library and to introduce herself a little bit.
Good morning, everyone. As Mindy said, I moved here from Tampa, and the reason why, I know this is my problem, the reason why was this area is beautiful, and there's so much potential here to create new experiences for this community. I've been in libraries for about 20 years now, and I wanted to change, and this was the right time to make that change for my family. So I'm very excited to be here. And everyone has been so welcoming, and I really appreciate all the support. This morning I wanted to talk about lifelong learning. And I love the chance I get to talk about libraries and to tell our story. And I look forward to creating new stories with Williamson County. I started here in August, so this is all very new still. And I'm looking forward to all the opportunities that the future holds with this library system. Let me ask, in 2022, how are libraries still relevant? Monthly, we have over 25,000 people enter our libraries in the county. As a system, we typically circulate 65 to 70,000 items monthly, and that's not including digital resources. On average, we offer 25 to 30 programs for adults and over 50 for youth. We serve the communities of Bethesda, College Grove, Fairview, Liebers Fork, Nolensville, and here, of course, in Franklin. And as Mindy pointed out, our Franklin Library does have a very special department, the Special Collections and History Department, and that is such a valuable resource for this community. And the Williamson Room is an awesome place, so I suggest if you haven't been there to take a walk over. The librarians in that department are fantastic, as Jeffrey can speak to. And I'd like to also note, while in our libraries, you can use Ancestry.com for free. I'd like to speak a moment on our vision statement, which is to create an environment for lifelong learning, growth, and connection. While all of these are important, we found that connection is key, especially over the past few years. And libraries are looking at different ways we can foster connection through our spaces and through our resources. Libraries are just not about books. We are the leaders in the community for all types of literacy and access to information. We help people find jobs, provide school readiness for young children, and provide digital literacy. And we aren't just a building. We have no walls and provide 24/7 access to information and resources. We are constantly evolving to remain relevant in the community and provide lifelong learning. And I'd like to note, all of our branch libraries and the library here at Maine offer the opportunity to support the library through our Friends of the Library chapters. These nonprofit organizations offer chances for volunteerism for adults and teens. We aim to enrich the communities we serve, and some of the ways we do this is through programming, access to materials and technology, and outreach. At this point, I'm going to pass the presentation over to Jeffy Nicholson, our Adult Services Manager, and she will cover some of the programming and services we offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. I feel honor-bound to say I'm originally from Alabama, so roll tide. I'm wearing orange because it's autumn and Halloween. But it was a great game, I understand. I spent 12 hours on the road coming home from fall break, so I've learned the score this morning. I already knew we had lost. I just didn't know how close the game was. So I hope y'all all enjoyed it, and y'all deserve the celebration. So I'm Jeffy Nicholson. I work upstairs, primarily on the second floor of the library, overseeing adult services. So I oversee the reference and the special collection and local history departments. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of our upcoming programs because there's a lot. So most of what I deal with are the programming and services for people who are 18 years old and older. So you get up to 104, I will still show you how to use our digital library and get some ebooks from Reads or borrow some from Hoopla, as will any of the nice ladies I work with over there. We do ask for registration for a lot of our events, but that's because generally we want to give you something, and it's nice to know how many people are coming, and sometimes it's just a seat. You know, we want to have a program, we want to know how many chairs to put out. I have 100 chairs, 200 chairs, so that's a lot to put out if I don't know how many people are coming. We do require registration for computer classes and the crafts class for adults because we want to give you handouts and we want to know how many cardboard boxes do I need to bring this month for y'all to be able to make pumpkins out of. We do a lot of recycled crafts. So some details about some of our upcoming programs and information about ongoing events is there's this real handsome fella over here, and his name is Craig Wilson, and he will be at the library this Thursday, October 20th at 6 o'clock. He is from Nashville. He's participating in our Listen and Learn collaboration with the Southern Trace Songwriters. Don Schwartz, who runs that, had reached out to us more than 3 years ago. And he brings a musician in almost monthly that comes and they will play music, but they also tell us their story, how they got into the industry, why this song is one they chose to share with us. Williamson County TV comes and records them, so you can find our past programs there on their YouTube channel. So I have Donna Frost coming November 10th at 6 p.m. And now there in the middle, you can't see it. One person there is one of my reference librarians, and she is actually showing a lady how to get books from Reads. We have people who will just walk in with their phones, their tablets, Kindles, and want to know how to get ebooks from the library. Usually they're going, I have spent way too much money at Amazon. So it's a great savings. We will do appointments if you want to call and schedule something, and you will have an undivided attention of one of our staff for 30 minutes. And we will do that on a variety of topics, not just the ebooks. I have had people bring spreadsheets to me and scratch my head going, I don't know, you may have to leave it with me for a minute. But we try to help you with anything that you come in with, you know. We offer computer classes monthly. They do primarily focus on the Microsoft Office suite we have on our computers, and we're running 2016. So Word, I'm actually teaching Word tomorrow night and Wednesday night from 4 to 6. I'll give you a handout. We'll go over just the basics for how to operate Microsoft Windows, you know, maximize, minimize, and move things around, and everything that's on the ribbon for Word. It's a good basic class. And then if you need anything more advanced or have questions afterwards, we punt to the one-on-ones, and we'll schedule appointments with you, and we will get you to where you need to be for that job you're looking for, or just for your personal edification that you're just wanting to learn how to use it on your laptop. And you can even bring in your laptop and we'll review some of these materials. It is registration required, and the classes are typically just 10 people or less. So it's a nice small group. Nobody has to feel bad about asking questions or anything. I tell them, if you've done something crazy on a computer, I can guarantee I've probably already done it twice, because I've got a hard head and it takes me a little bit to learn things. But we give you handouts to keep and practice at home. You can come back with it and we will review. Now, it wouldn't be a library if we didn't have book clubs. So the FBI Codename Tempar is this month's pick for our True Crime Book Club, which is meeting on the 25th at 6. We've got 4 book clubs that meet regularly. The Literary Ladies, so it's just one for the girls, meets on the 3rd Monday, and they're meeting on the 17th, or did they already meet? That's tonight at 6 p.m. And Best Reads meets on the 3rd Thursday, and that one is solidly volunteer run. And then we have a Racial Justice Book Club that meets virtually. So it has members who are from all around the country as well as here locally. The interesting thing about our book club is while 3 of them are librarian run, the librarians that run them pick out a book list of like 20 books that they think the patrons who are participating in the book clubs will enjoy. And then the patrons bring their own book suggestions, and then they pick from the list that they create based off of that list. And so we're reading what other people want to read and then just putting together some questions for the discussions. So, now, the monthly crafts. Okay, sorry. Well, you can go back to the blood drive. I can talk about the blood drives. We're doing 2 blood drives a month now. And I don't know if you're aware, but there was a hurricane that hit Florida. So a lot of our Red Cross blood suppliers sent blood to Florida, and they're running low on supplies. So they were running low before. And we just held one last week on the 13th, and we've got one coming on the 24th. And then there'll be 2 more in November, and then 2 more in December. The blood supplies get very low around the holidays, and then that is also a time there's a great need because we're all traveling and accidents happen. Now next slide. And there's our pumpkins. So that's what I'm saving all my Pop-Tart boxes that my kids eat, all the Pop-Tarts and cereal boxes, so that we can bring them in. And we've got paint and some supplies that they can make these cute little pumpkins. I've been told, I think, to save paper towel rolls too, but we're just not going through those as fast. Usually we have about 20 people slots for these, and it's a lot of fun. People come and they get together, and it's really a nice group. I think our most popular one was last year when we made little gnomes. And gnomes are all the rage right now. So we're looking maybe at a gnome garland in December, but I don't think it's been firmly nailed down supply-wise and all. But we've done macrame last week. We did balloon yard spheres. I did that one. and we blew up balloons, and then you put the string through the glue and wrapped it around. I always choose messy stuff. I don't know. It's fun, but popsicle boxes, real simple like that. The other thing we do is we offer monthly movies. So this month we're showing Beetlejuice. We tend to orient towards the PG-13, so there might be a little something in there, but it's fun if you need to bring your family with you. That's going to be on October 24th at 5. It will be down in the meeting room. So we do have registration requested, so we know how many chairs to set up. And if you want to put a little note in there, you want a table to eat your snacks on, that's fine too. And we will have some light snacks, probably popcorn and some bottled water. The Living History Walk, this is a big deal. We've been planning this for almost a year with the Brentwood Franklin Women's Service Club. We're going to have 8 reenactors of local Williamson County, specifically Franklin, that will tell their stories. We'll have 4 reenactors on the first floor, 4 on the second floor, and you'll get to go tour around and talk with each of them, and they'll do an 8 to 10 minute sharing of their story with the group. So we're looking forward to it. They'll be in costume. It should be a lot of fun. Did the Red Cross, so the next thing I think is our winter reading program. We have always done a summer reading program for the kids. So when we moved into our new building, we started doing a summer reading program for adults because why not? We like to read and we like to get treats too. So we also, starting 3 years ago, we started doing a winter reading challenge. It's a little bit shorter to encourage everybody to read over the holiday break. And there are prizes for reading. I think it's just 10 hours. So it's a goal everybody can reach. I think this year we're going to do some sort of little bingo card. It'll be fun. And it doesn't matter how you read. If you listen to an audio book, if you read an ebook, or if you like to do the print still too, it all counts. It's all learning, and it's all fun. And I think that's it for us. I want to say thank you. And if you liked hearing about these programs, and if you have more members in your family, children, and teens, we have programs for all ages. And you can subscribe to our newsletter on our homepage at wcpltn.org and get it delivered to your email box, weekly. And there'll be little invitations for special events, like I'll probably be sending one out to come to the Listen and Learn and hear Craig tonight.
So, how do you get a library card? Who can tell us how to get a library card?
Well, you can start with a library card online, and then you just come by and visit your nearest branch, and you'll need to show a photo ID, which if your driver's license has your Williamson County address on it, you're good. We want to give you the library card. So if you bring in a moving box that has your Williamson County address because you're new here, or a checkbook, or a utility bill, anything like that. I've had people come up with like 50 pages of lease papers before, and it's like, all I need to see is that address and your photo ID that you're you, and we will set you up with a library card.
And that online library card gives you access to the facility, gives you access to what's online through Tennessee Reads, and then also people use.
Well, you still have to come in and get the physical card.
Okay.
It's going to ask you, all our library cards start with 201. It will give you a little number when you do the online form, but that's not your library card number.
So I have recently, I've always been a book holder. I want to read the book and hold it in my hands, but recently I've started reading books both on my phone and on my Fire tablet, and really love using Tennessee Reads and Libby. I find a lot of great things through that system, and I'm one of those people who always wants to read the latest thing, so I go to Skip the Line or Available Now and looking in there to see, because a lot of times I will find something that's pretty current in there and available immediately to read, and really love that. And it also has magazines on it. I didn't realize that. There are all kinds of magazines on these online programs that you can download, so maybe you don't have to have that subscription to the magazine. You can read it online. That was something I just learned last month, so that was kind of interesting to me.
Yes, I was listening on the way back from Florida yesterday to Brene Brown's Daring Leadership, the audiobook, forcing my kids to listen to it too. But that was in Reads. We also have the Hoopla Digital database. It's 4 checkouts a month, and we subscribe to that one specifically because it offers music, and you can borrow the whole album. So you can get up to 20 to 30 songs if you borrow 4 music albums.
And I do think it's interesting, and just wanted to point out and remind you that they said Ancestry.com is free to use through the library system, and that's a huge savings if you're interested in your genealogy. And then they've got great people like Jeffy and her staff to help you maybe get in the right direction and look at those collections. So we appreciate that and appreciate hearing from y'all. Pass that on down, and then the clicker, and we'll get started and talk about entertainment, leisure, and exercise. Yay. And learn about pickleball.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Hamby, and I'm the Senior and Therapeutic Superintendent for Williamson County Parks and Recreation. So my team and I do a variety of program events for both senior citizens as well as for people with intellectual disabilities. For today, we're going to hone in on the Enrichment Center, and I'm going to share some information on what we have to offer here. And then I'll have my coworker, Crystal, share some stuff that she offers through her senior sports program. So for those of you who have not been here today or been here before, the Williamson County Enrichment Center is primarily senior specific, Monday through Friday from 7 to 3. So every single day you're going to see a variety of different activities. We have something for everyone. So we offer a variety of different pass options, or if you're a veteran, you get to come in for free, or if you have one of those wellness programs to your insurance, you could also get in for free. There are affordable options for everyone. But as far as senior programming, let's start with some fitness-based classes. We've got something here every single day of the week, from silver sneakers classes to strength training type classes, Zumba Gold, yoga. There's a variety of different fitness options depending on what your needs are or what you're looking for. Great instructors. We've got one gal here, Nancy Reeves. She teaches our Power Tools class. She's been here since the late 1990s, and she has a packed house every single fitness class. So if you're looking for something, she might be a great opportunity to start. Other programs and events that we offer range from senior lounge hours. We've got that the whole entire time that we're open throughout the day. Folks can come in, they can build puzzles, they can join their friends and play a game of cards. We've got a group of veterans that are here every single Monday morning, and all they do is drink our coffee. They chit-chat, they socialize, they drink coffee, they have a great time. Other things that we offer are our open art and open watercolor studio on Monday. We've got a fabulous instructor named Pam. You bring in your own supplies, whatever you're working on, and she's just there to kind of guide and give suggestions and troubleshoot. We also offer things such as Dulcimer Dandies, Yarn Club, Bridge Club. There's truly something for everybody. Some programs do require registration in advance, just so we know who's coming. And then other programs are strictly drop-in, so if you want to come, great. Or if you can't make it one week, there's no stress, no pressure. You just show up for whenever you can come. We also offer movie matinees once a month. We utilize our lovely Performing Arts Center on a Tuesday each month. Everything from old classics to current movies as well, too. We try to do things depending on the theme and the time of the year. We offer bingo once a month, so we provide refreshments and the prizes. You just show up and you play bingo and you hopefully win a prize. Other things that we do as well are outings throughout all of Williamson County, lunch bunch outings, or going to museums or going to see art exhibits. We do a variety of different day trips each month at this location as well as some of our other rec centers as well too. So we have fun, lots and lots of fun. Available for you today, if you're interested, I did bring copies of our monthly newsletter. We typically will put this together every single month. We email it blast out, but then we also have paper copies available too. And it kind of just highlights everything that we're offering at this campus, whether it's senior-based or whether it's things that we're offering at our Performing Arts Center or things that Crystal does in her gym. So we try to highlight all of those things in a one-stop shop for you to see everything that's going on every single month. So I'm going to pass this on to Crystal.
All right, guys. So whenever we think about seniors, think about this. It's the largest demographic. It starts at 55 and ends, we don't know. Yeah, 105, 102, 110, we don't know. But the cool thing is we have all of these opportunities for seniors in this period of their life, and they enjoy these things, but we can't forget those who are 55 years old, maybe 50 years old, and participating in the Senior Olympics. And these people want to live and want to do fun things, and that shouldn't stop them. And even if they are 80 years old, they're still going zip lining or whitewater rafting with me, and I think that's pretty cool. But as the sports coordinator, it was already mentioned before, how many of you guys are interested in pickleball? Raise your hand. You're interested? Okay. Yeah. How many guys play pickleball actively now? You raise your hand, Seth. Yeah. Let's see you. Okay, so a couple. So for those of you who are interested, I did bring some supplies to show you. And I do have these for you guys to grab afterwards, and I'll answer any questions you have. This is just the basic rules of pickleball, where to stand, what to do, what you should be doing for your partner, and who you're playing against, and all of those things. If you played tennis before and now you're transitioning into pickleball and you're interested, it's going to be confusing at first. You're going to hear people say, "Get out of the kitchen," and you're like, "What? What's the kitchen?" So this is good information for you to read on before you go and you experience your first pickleball game, which leads me into mentioning that we do offer clinics. We offer beginner clinics that will go over those basic things of pickleball for where you need to stand and why, and when you need to move up to the net and why, and don't stand in the kitchen and hit the ball because that's not good. You won't get a point for that. Here's what our basic pickleball paddles look like. This is a very cheap paddle. This is not a super fancy one, but it is square. It's very light. I don't know. Can you hear that? Anyways, you're welcome to grab one of these afterwards too if you kind of want to fill it. And I brought balls. So I run indoor pickleball and I also run outdoor pickleball. My indoor pickleball uses a certain kind of ball that is different than my outdoor, and I got to make sure I don't get it mixed up because my people will let me know. The indoor pickleballs have larger holes. You might not be able to see from here, but they have larger holes and they bounce a little different. The ground is going to be different that they're using. I'm at the gymnasium that's right across from the pickleball courts. It's the big red building. It's the old BGA gym. It's very quiet in there. And so whenever pickleball's going on, that's all you hear, though, is this back and forth, back and forth. I have open play on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 2:30. It is a senior-specific sport since I'm the senior sports coordinator. So my gym is the only one that you have to be a senior to play there. I kick out those young guys. I do. I hate doing it, but they try to sneak in there all the time because we are a hidden gym. But I have to say, show me your ID because you're looking a little young. And some people actually, nowadays, I don't know what it is in the water, people look young nowadays, and it's hard to tell how old people are, but thankfully I don't offend them when I say that. They actually love it. So yeah, 12 to 2:30 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I can give you more information afterwards too. This is an outdoor ball. The holes are smaller, so the wind's not going to be able to carry it as much. The wind does still make a difference when you're outside. The outdoor courts, we have 4, and you are able to reserve those for $10 an hour. You reserve them online. You can only reserve them up to a week in advance because we want you to look at the weather before you make that commitment and you pay that $10 because if we did it too far in advance, that would be crazy phone calls of cancellations probably for days. So, a game does not take an hour. A game takes approximately, depending on your level and how quickly you're able to move to the ball to pick it up and hit it across. I have seen a game take an hour. That's why I'm saying this. It should take about 12 to 14 minutes. It depends on how often you are volleying the ball back and forth, just over and over and over, how skilled you are. But some people, watch out for the sharks. If you come to my gym, I've got some sharks in there. They will slam the ball just time after time, and a game can just go like that, right? You play to the score of 11. You have to win by 2, which means you have to be 2 points over the other opponent. If you are tied at 11, you'll go over. And that's all in this rules summary. So for those who are interested, I really hope that you guys take a clinic, watch a video online. The internet is amazing and also can be terrible, but use it as a resource, and feel free to come and you can check these out and kind of see what this feels like. There are stores around here that you can go and you can get a paddle, and they'll let you test it before you commit. And I think that's pretty cool because they have several different types of paddles, and they really want people to find the one they like. Or you can order from Pickleball Central, and they have a pretty good return policy too. So when it comes to pickleball, though, outside of having open play twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday, like I mentioned, I also run leagues and tournaments, and the leagues are really fun because you have to register for them, and I usually do. You have to be a skill level 3.0 and above, or I'll say all levels welcome, and then I'll divide them into 2 different levels, and I rotate people. So I love it because they all come, I'm able to organize it, and they don't know who they're playing with. And sometimes I don't know who they're playing with until the day of, and they get there because sometimes my people, they don't show up sometimes, and then I have to scramble, but we make it work. And so they love that because they meet new people, they're playing the game. I have to remind them, though, since I'm rotating them in their group of 4, to not yell at the people they're playing against, because eventually those people are going to be their partner. So you have to keep that in mind in the game of pickleball. You got to keep it friendly because sometimes they get real competitive. So that's what my league looks like. And it usually takes a few hours for my league. I structure it a different way. Sometimes I get to be a professional paid pickleball player because I have to fill in for my seniors if they don't show up. So I get to actually play with them sometimes, and I do cherish those moments. And outside of that, I also host tournaments. They are very, very fun, friendly tournaments. It's nothing crazy that you'll see on TV. Spoiler alert. Okay, it's just a fun thing to do, and I try to research and look online the different ways you can structure tournaments, and I try to test out different things. I call my seniors my guinea pigs sometimes, and I always love their feedback. I'm like, let me know what you thought, and so that makes it really fun. So that's just kind of our scoop just for pickleball. The 4 outdoor courts. My indoor courts, I have 6 total. And so what I do, if you guys are ever interested in visiting, I love that I'm able to do this. One side I have as recreational play. So those are for my patrons who really just come for the social aspect, the physical aspect of getting some exercise in, and truly just enjoy coming in and playing the game and the camaraderie they get with the other players. And then my competitive side, that's the sharks I mentioned earlier. I got one back there, just so y'all know. My competitive side, I keep them mixed up, but the way my gym is structured is where everyone has a place to go where they feel comfortable. I don't want a beginner to come and then leave and never play pickleball again because they felt out of place, or somebody was a bully or made them feel beneath them, because guess what? Everyone started somewhere. So even those competitive players, one time they were on this side, and I saw them slowly start trickling to the other side as they grew in their sport. So anyways, that's just what I have about pickleball, and I could talk all day because you guys slow me down if you need to, because I cover a lot of things. So outside of pickleball, I try to have a variety of sports because I am a sports coordinator, not a pickleball coordinator, right? Sometimes that's hard because everyone wants to play pickleball all the time. I could have it all day, every day, and I bet people would show up still. But I do love that we have a bocce ball court. It's located between the library and this building. It's right over there. And in the spring and the fall, every year, I have a bocce ball league. I only have 1 court, so I have to keep it small. I usually limit it to about 12 people, but we rotate teams, and they play the game of bocce ball, which is kind of like shuffleboard. It's a slower game. You're rolling a ball, but you have a goal, and you're trying to win. You wouldn't believe how we get on the edge of our seat with that last throw in the game of bocce ball. It sounds like a boring sport, and when I try to recruit people to come play bocce ball, sometimes they're like, meh, and I'm like, you have no idea. These guys are good. So it's a sweet group, though, and they keep signing up. So I kind of have a core little group that they really have become friends, and they play outside of my league sometimes too, so I think that's fantastic. And then in the wintertime, in the summertime, when it's too hot, too cold, I operate a cornhole league within my gym. I have several different cornhole boards, and it's kind of the same as my bocce ball, except for I have a bigger group because I have more cornhole boards available. Anybody like to play cornhole? Just a few? Yeah, so just letting you know, I'm not very good if you play against me, but I do like to play. So outside of that, just so you know, for this campus, twice a year, we host the Senior Olympics, and I'm a part of that as well. Since I am the senior sports coordinator, it's very fitting. At our gym, if you ever want to volunteer, come watch. I would be that person to talk to, but we host table tennis, volleyball, shuffleboard, and cornhole at the gym. And when you see them on the state level play, which is in June, it's amazing. It is amazing watching these people. They travel all over the state of Tennessee to here. They have been practicing at their facilities in Kingsport, Chattanooga, all over, to come here and compete to go to the Nationals. And let me tell you about competitive, right? They are competitive, and if I get that score wrong, or if I just maybe wrote it, they will come let me know for sure. So it's enjoyable to watch. The volunteering is fantastic if you're able to, or if you're interested, to be a part of that and to watch them. As every year they just come back, and that's usually the only time I see a lot of these people, so it's nice to see them once a year. And then we host the district, which is the people who are local in the greater Nashville area. We host them in September, so we just finished that up. So if you're ever around during those times and you see crazy cars and signs everywhere, that's what's going on. So just keeping you guys in the loop. Outside of that, just wanted to let you know that as a sports coordinator, thankfully, I'm also gifted to be able to provide sports trips to my seniors, and I'm going to show you a video of one of my seniors at the end. Just this year, I was going to tell you what we've done. We've been to Mammoth Cave. We've been kayaking on the Duck River twice because they wanted to go back so bad. I had to do it again. We went to the Nashville Zoo. We went skeet shooting at Henry Horton State Park, zip lining at the trails of Fontanelle. We went to the indoor water park at the Opryland Hotel. They loved that. They turned into kids that day. I had to corral them up and get them to leave because they wanted to stay the whole time. We also hike every month, so I do a sports trip and then I do a hike. So we usually hike between 2 and 3 miles depending on where we are and depending on how difficult the hike is. Sometimes we have a guide if it's a state park, or sometimes I'm guiding. Sometimes it's my first time hiking at this place too, and we're all on an adventure together, if that makes sense. So this year we have hiked the Old Stone Fort Loop. We've hiked at Henry Horton, Percy Warner, Jackson Falls, the West Haven Trail, the trails at the Fontanelle, and we've also hiked the Narrows of the Harpeth. So if that just kind of gives you an example of the type of seniors we have here, it's a huge range, and they're all fabulous and amazing. And I think that's it. I just will show you guys my Joanne Jasper. Yeah. And thank you for your time, too. You guys were great.
The age you are is in your heart. It's not chronological. Some days you feel like you're 99, but some days you feel like you're 29. It's wonderful. It's like being airborne or jumping in a parachute or something. You're just flying through the air. I go to the senior trips as often as I can. And I go to the exercise classes at the enrichment center 5 days a week usually. So it's a wonderful experience to do that. So that makes you able to do the other things that they have at the enrichment center, like going on trips, going out to lunch, all the other activities that they have that they can offer you.
How many times a year should we do this?
Oh, every month.
Every month.
It's important for you all to move, because when you don't move, you can't move. If you don't practice moving, if you got to take that first step in your adventure in the rest of your life so that you'll be able to move. Otherwise, you'll become chair-ridden, bed-ridden, and you won't be able to move. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. It's something you can't take a pill for. You can't take a pill for isolation or for loneliness. You just have to work through it. High dive in the swimming pool.
Anything else?
Yeah, I want to go. I'd jump out of an airplane the next trip.
I haven't done that one yet. Nor would we let her, so.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jessie Eppelheimer. I'm the Advertising and Promotions Coordinator for the Williamson County Performing Arts Center. Has anyone been to an event at the Performing Arts Center? Okay, great. We love to see that. So for those of you who haven't, we're just across the parking lot. We've got some great events coming up, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but we'd love to see you over there. And let's see. Okay. So this picture you see here is our typical event setup, and in that setup we are a 265 seat venue. However, we do have flexible seating, so everything you see here can completely come out and can be moved around to different configurations. We can put a dance floor in the space. We have done that before. We've had swing dance events, which are a lot of fun, and we also can do cabaret seating, so we're very flexible and can really do whatever a particular group might imagine in the space. And we also have lighting and audio equipment, as well as a team that operates that for anyone who does an event in our space. So the mission of the Williamson County Performing Arts Center, or the PAC for short, which I might call it occasionally, is to enrich, engage, and entertain our community by operating as a professional and accessible venue and performance space. And we do that through 4 primary ways. The first and probably biggest category is rental events. So our space is available for rent to the community, and we have a pretty busy calendar. Most weekends we have events in there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes it'll be more than one event per weekend. So we get a lot of different types of events in there, but we get children's theater, that's a pretty big one for us. Other community theater organizations, we will do concerts, we do dance recitals. We do have private events occasionally, so that would be things like classes, workshops, seminars. But for the most part, our rental events are open to the public and are advertised on our website, and so we welcome all members of the community to most of those rental events. We also have co-sponsored events, which, as the name suggests, are events that the department will sponsor in order to provide some additional support to maybe new or growing organizations within the community. So we don't do as many of these. It's maybe 4 or 5 a year, but to name a few of the co-sponsored groups that we have had even just since I've been here, we've had Franklin Light Opera, which is a brand new light opera company that premiered last year. We have co-sponsored Off the Square Theater Company, which is a children's theater company. We co-sponsor the Nashville Shakespeare Festival, and so they do, once a year, they do 2 plays out in the athletic field, and that's a great event. It's free to the public, and we get hundreds of people here, and it's a really awesome event to be able to bring Nashville Shakespeare Festival down here into Williamson County. And trying to think of any. We also co-sponsor the Nashville Irish Step Dancers, but this is just a program that allows us to provide a little bit more support to some members of the community who want to be able to put on an event in a nice space and with a staff to support them, but maybe don't have the resources to do so on their own. So it's a really great way for us to be able to enrich the culture of Williamson County. And then we also do our own in-house events or guest artists events, and this year we've done maybe 8 to 10 of those, and these are events where we bring in outside groups or performers that we we seek them out because we think they will appeal to our audience and are just things that people want to see and want to have the opportunity to come to. So this year we've done a tribute series, which was really popular. I don't know if anyone here came to any of those, but we had, during the summer, we had tribute bands, tributes to the Beach Boys, the Allman Brothers, James Taylor, Neil Diamond. We did a Motown tribute. We just recently had Chicago. So we bring in all different types of music artists and tributes to those, and they're really fun. This is also the category that would encompass our swing dance series, which we haven't done, I believe, since COVID, but are trying to get back up and running. And that's going to be a Sunday series where we have a big band perform, and we have swing dance lessons, and we have a dance floor, and you can just come in and spend the afternoon swing dancing. And we also do a limited number of in-house events because our calendar is so full. We don't have a lot of opportunity to do these, but this year we actually launched our own theatrical series. We did the musical Nonsense in April, and in the first weekend of November we are doing the musical The Marvelous Wonderettes, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, and I actually think we have a video to show you about that as well. But this series is theatrical performances that are produced entirely in-house, so that is completely done by our team. We do these sets, we direct it, we do the casting, we handle everything. So we don't do a ton of them, but it's a really fun opportunity for us to just put on something as a team that's totally in-house. We also have a pretty robust children's theater program within Williamson County Parks and Recreation. And they have events for all ages. I think the youngest group is 4 to 7, and it goes all the way up to high school seniors. And we offer dance classes, acting classes. They do musical productions. They do straight plays. We also have summer camps for theater and all different types of performing arts activities. So we have a lot to offer to all different ages of children. So you can find more information about that on Parks and Rec website, but it's a really great program, and a lot of those groups do perform at the Performing Arts Center, but they also perform at other facilities within the county because we have groups in all different rec centers so that kids throughout the county get an opportunity to perform. And so, yeah, there are opportunities multiple times a year throughout the county. And a couple other programs that aren't listed here, but that I'll mention, the Williamson County Community Band and the Williamson County Community Choir perform here in the Enrichment Center. They also do some performances throughout the community, but that is another great program we have within the Performing Arts Center. And the choir typically does 2 concerts a year. The band does 3 or 4 concerts a year, and it's free to the public, so it's a really great opportunity to see some high quality music performed. And then we also have a program in the Performing Arts Center where we bring in a featured artist 4 times a year, and these are people from the community, and we give them a space to present their artwork. And so if you go over to the Performing Arts Center right now, you'll see an exhibit from the Heritage in Brentwood, and these are pieces that have been created by their art class. So that's another opportunity to showcase the community and their artwork. And before I wrap it up, I will just do a quick plug for our fall musical that I mentioned earlier. It's called The Marvelous Wonderettes, and it is a 1950s and 1960s jukebox musical. Act 1 is a senior prom in 1958, and it is a girl group that performs classic songs like Lollipop, Stupid Cupid, Mr. Sandman, and then in Act 2, it is fast-forwarded 10 years to their high school reunion. So it's 1968, and they're performing songs from the 60s, like It's My Party, Son of a Preacher Man, there's Aretha Franklin in there, there's a lot. It's over 30 hits from the 50s and 60s. So if you like that kind of music, it's going to be a really fun time, and we hope to see you there November 4th through 6th. And then I think we just have a quick promo video for that. But thank you all. If you want more information about any of our programs, we have some flyers out in the lobby.
thank you all so much. And thank these ladies for their time today. And they're here to answer questions afterwards. And if you want to see their facility, you haven't been to a facility, you might be able to peek in the door and see those. And then to the Marvelous Wonderettes, I saw this coupon outside. So dinner and a show in downtown. And Izzy's is offering a discount for that. But, you know, driving to Nashville to the theater and finding a place to park and having dinner, it's a great opportunity here in our community to support and enjoy these experiences that are being offered. And we really wanted to bring this information to you. So in general, the cost of classes on average for attending at the Senior Parks and Rec, what's an average cost for a class or a trip?
So the trip varies. It could be $3 to go in a lunch bunch, or if we're going someplace that involves a mission, the fee that the seniors will pay just strictly covers that. Mm-hmm. So it could be a $15 jaunt somewhere, or it could be a little bit more expensive. We're planning, Jack Daniels for our Fairview seniors, and that's roughly $75. Mm-hmm. But that covers the tour at Jack Daniels, and we're going to Miss Mary Bobo's for lunch as well, too. What's not to love?
Yeah. And a tasting. You get a tasting, too, so that's part of it.
Yeah.
But then as far as like fitness classes, things like that, if you have one of the reimbursable programs, you get it for free. If you have an enrichment center pass, you pay $2. So we try to keep it very affordable.
That's great. That sounds wonderful. And then just to clarify, this facility from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, you're going to see people with my gray hair that's covered up by some gray hair dye. But right, this is a senior facility during those hours, and then from 3 to what time?
So from 3 to close, it is open for all ages, a variety of different programs. You're going to see arts and craft classes, painting classes, dance classes, things like that. But it's open to all ages at that point.
But from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, you're going to see people who are out here doing the same thing you are, making friends, exercising, having that opportunity, and have more maybe freedom in their schedule for access. So this has been interesting, and there's a lot more to learn by getting involved at either or any of these facilities. And so if you think about it, the library is accessed by Granbury on that side. The Performing Arts Center is on Everbright. But you can park in any of these facilities, and it's easier probably to come to the Enrichment Center by parking at the library and walking over. So get involved. Learn about how you can find both leisure and lifelong learning here in our county. They've got some great gifts in the back from the Parks Department, Parks and Rec. So upcoming events, we've got Breakfast with the Mayors a week from tomorrow. We're going to be talking about broadband in our community and the expansion into the rural areas of Williamson County. If you think that doesn't affect you, just think about if you have employees or friends and neighbors who live in a more rural section of Williamson County and how they got through the pandemic without access to broadband or internet. And a lot of them were parking in library parking lots in their communities and accessing the internet that they could get there. So that'll be next Tuesday morning at Rolling Hills Community Church. Breakfast starts at 7, and then the program at 7:45. We've got Pumpkin Fest coming up, or the Heritage Foundation has Pumpkin Fest coming up in downtown Franklin. We've got November 14th, our next Frank Talks, and then our volunteer awards. Our Exemplary Community Volunteer Awards are going to be Tuesday, November 15th at Rolling Hills Community Church at 6 p.m. We are still accepting nominations from organizations and the community of people who are making a difference in our community by volunteering. There are a number of categories you can submit nominations for, and we do love to get them from friends and neighbors and who say this person is making a difference in the community. And there are youth awards, there are also emerging leader awards, as well as volunteer spirit and other awards that will be given on November 15th at this event. It's a lot of fun, and it's wonderful to see the work that's being done in our community. That event also includes an in memoriam section of individuals who have passed away in the last year in our community. Is also very touching, and been working on that recently with Williamson Memorial Funeral Home. It's overwhelming to see the loss we've experienced in our community, but to think about the impact those individuals had on our community is uplifting. So we hope that it's both of those things as part of the volunteer awards. And so please submit your nominations this week, and we'll be having that event coming up. But hope to see you all also next Tuesday at Breakfast with the Mayors, Rolling Hills. Have a great day.